welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Maskia and I just moved out of home a month and a half ago-ish with two amazing housemates, making the most of every day. I feel like our space is so positive, but it didn't come so easy. It took me 12 months to find a rental. 12 months. The rental crisis has caused many people a lot of stress.
Melbourne's housing crisis has deepened.
It's the biggest annual rent increase we've ever seen.
We've got rents at record high.
I was fortunate enough that I had my parents' place to be at, but there are some people who literally did not have a place, just had to move from one rental to the other, like my friend Chantel. So I thought I'd sit down and share with you 5 things I wish I knew before starting to search for a rental and before just moving out of home. Let me give you a bit of context. So in 2021, I moved to a city apartment for a couple of months, but I didn't love living in the city. And then I stayed at my sister's place for 3 weeks. And when I realized that there was literally no hope to find a place in that amount of time, I moved back to my parents' place, had a temporary room which lasted for 12 months until I found this place. From inspections to applications, talking to real estate agents, it was crazy. So if you're at a stage in your life where you're looking for a place and you feel deflated and discouraged, I know what it's like scrolling through real estate and seeing the same houses or seeing things that are out of your budget. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of mental stress while still focusing on other things in life. Hang in there, you will find a place that suits you, and I'm going to share with you some tips that will hopefully get you to your goal. I'm going to be speaking from my own experiences, so this may not apply to you. I just want to share what I did to get accepted for this rental. Tip number 1, just quickly, if you're looking to live alone, then skip to this part of the video so you don't have to listen to me talk about housemates. I went through groups and groups of people to find the right ones. And you can avoid doing that if there is clear communication. Communication is one of the most important things in life. In friendships, relationships, family, housemates, you need to make sure you're on the same page, and let me tell you why. I'll give you an example. So before I found Chantel and Lucy, I was teamed up with 2 girls, lovely girls, but when we were looking for houses, we just did not take the time to talk about specifics. We're like, yeah, this would be a nice suburb, maybe around this area. But saying the city and surrounding suburbs could mean very different things to different people. And there was one instance in which we went to inspect a house, we all liked it a lot, put an application in, I talked to the real estate agents, and then we got approved for the house, and I was so happy. But the other girls said that this wasn't their ideal location. We should reject the application. So that's what we did. I was distraught. I was so sad. Be specific with the locations, literally list them out, list postcodes, list if you want to live close to a train station or a tram stop, because I remember that's another reason why they didn't want to live in the place, because it wasn't close to a tram stop. Also make sure that budgets are talked about and firmly talked about. If you find a house that you love and it's within budget, you should go after it. But if someone says what their budget is and they're like, oh, I really like this house and it's within budget, but I'd rather go for something less, that should be communicated at the beginning. Otherwise, you're missing out on opportunities and houses that you would have gone for. So make sure that that's clear. It's like up to $250 per week. And if we find a house that's up to that per person, then we'll get it. Also, meet up with these people a couple of times. This is very ironic for me to say because I did not catch up with Lucy before she got here. Thank God she's an angel, because she's literally from the UK. I just felt her energy through the screen and I knew that we were going to get along from the get-go. But when you do chat and catch up with your housemates, do activities that are a little bit different. Rather than just getting a coffee and chatting, which I think is very important for the first meetup, but like for a second meetup, go play bowling, go see how they are in a group setting, cook together. And don't feel that you have to be housemates with the first person that you meet off of flatmates, because I felt guilty if I met up with someone and planned to like chat about being housemates, and like then I didn't really want to be housemates with them, but I felt bad to say it to them. You're going to be living with this person, so be picky, because you don't want to wake up every morning and be frustrated. You have to get along with the people you live with, and there are going to be tough conversations. There are. You're just going to have to prepare yourself for those and be strong and communicate your needs. Communicate what you want in the house, cleanliness, organization. If you want to like be friends more so than housemates, that's definitely something I was looking for and something that I've definitely found within my house. That was a big spiel there that I think was just very important. Okay, now for your application. All of this information may differ from country to country, state to state. Just keep that in mind. Let's say you find a property that you really like and you want to get approved for it. I can't even count the number of applications that I've done. It is ridiculous, but I nailed the final one. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, which I think got me to get the house that I got. Write lots. Take this opportunity to show the owner who you are. At the end of the day, the owner's going to be choosing who's going to be living in their house. Yes, the real estate agent's going to give them advice, but really they're choosing. I wrote an essay on behalf of the girls and I. I'm about to read it to you. Now listen closely because afterwards I'm going to point some things out. We're young, respectful adults looking for a space we can call home. Spacious and full of character, this property will allow us an inspiring and quiet space to study, cook new dishes, and snuggle up for movie nights. Our values for the home include cleanliness, organization, and respect. A typical day in our life. Chantal, Lucy, and I envision a morning yoga session on the green grass of it's a park name, followed by breakfast on the balcony. After getting ready, we'll head out for either work or university and come back home to dedicate some time to our side hustles and study ahead of cooking dinner. Nothing is more comforting than the smell of a home-cooked meal after a long day at work. As we are all book lovers, we envision adding a seat and bookshelf to create a reading nook in the living room under the large window, beautiful and lively floral arrangements on the balcony, and minimalistic decor to enhance the neutrality of the place and complement the aesthetics of the home. Chantal, Lucy, and I have a positive attitude and commitment to taking care of the house and participating in the community. Now I'm gonna point some things out. We didn't shy away from the fact that we're young. I'm literally 19 years old. Do you know how hard it was for me to compete against families who have stable jobs? We just put it straight out there, but said that we're respectful. This just showed that we weren't about having parties and like going out every weekend, and we were more so just looking for a nice place to study. Also, when you list your hobbies, just think about the repercussions that those hobbies have on the house or in the neighborhood. For example, I love music and I love painting, but was I going to put those in my application? Absolutely not. Music can be loud for the neighbors, and painting can get the carpets dirty, the floors. So I steered away from those, and I just put something like reading and yoga. Isn't that so nice and calm? If I was to paint, I would obviously put some newspapers, make sure that nothing gets on the carpets and everything's clean. But obviously they will assume the worst because they don't know you. So just think about the hobbies that you put down, make them a little bit quieter and more relaxed. Also emphasizing the point that you enjoy a clean and neat space. They want to see that you'll take care of the house. However, in saying all of that, I talked to someone this morning. He got approved for an apartment a couple of months ago, and he said that in his application, he didn't write lots. He kept it very short and succinct and just touched on main points like that he's employed, his hobbies, and the basics. I'm not sure which one's the right one, but we got approved with the essay that I wrote. Number 3 is offering more money. And there's a misconception in my state specifically. This is what I know. I'm not sure what the rules are in other places. It is illegal for real estate agents and the owners to ask you for more money than they've listed the rent for. What's not illegal is you offering more money. Even if you offer $5 more a week, you will have an advantage over the people who haven't. I'm going to be sharing how much we pay for rent because I think it's important. This apartment was listed for $720 a week and we offered $750 a week, $30 more. And we split that amount across the 3 of us. In terms of room sizes. If you can't afford paying more, I recommend looking for an apartment that is less expensive and then offering more. You could also do the opposite of this and you could offer less money, but you have to be smart about it. Imagine a bell curve, yeah? You have houses that everyone wants and that are in like mid-price range and they're here, okay? Then you have the outliers. You have the ones that are cheaper and you have the ones that are more expensive. Let's say you track a house on the website and it's been there for like 6 weeks and it's in these 2 areas. You can then offer less money because everyone wants these houses. So if you offer less in these houses, there's not a high chance that you'll get them. Another thing you can do is offer a couple of months up front. If you're moving out of your parents' home, I recommend staying there until you can save up to do this. We did that for this place. Also, avoid paying more than 30% of your total income per week on rent. So let's say you're making $100, you don't want to be spending more than $30 on rent. There are so many other life expenses like groceries, petrol if you drive, public transport fees, life in general and things that go wrong, your rainy day fund. So just use that as a guide. I can't tell you what to do though. If you really want a place and it's more expensive and you're willing to spend more money on it and then devote less into other areas of your life, go for it. Number 4, ask real estate agents to send you properties before they're listed on the market. Once a property is already listed online, it's got eyes on it. Go to inspections, build relationships with real estate agents, and ask them to add you to their email list. Number 5 is work on your habits. My parents did everything for me growing up. Cooking, cleaning, laundry. I came back home to a clean room. Love my parents for that. It made my life so much easier and I was able to focus on other areas in my life. But honestly, when I moved out, I realized how detrimental that was to my independence. In this last month and a half, I feel like I'm a completely different person to who I was when I moved out. And I definitely credit my housemates for that too, because they have great habits. They clean after themselves. They're very organized, neat. It's like, it's okay if you have a busy day and you leave the dishes for tomorrow, but it's really just about being respectful, actually taking the time to go wash them, or blocking out like a couple of minutes to give the kitchen bench a quick wipe, and cleaning as you go. That has helped me so much. A couple of habits that I'll share with you that have helped me tremendously and that I've worked on in this period of time is cleaning as I go. I don't have to do massive cleanups and block out an entire day for it. Number 2, if you don't know how to cook already, then learn. Meal prepping has made my day-to-day life so much more enjoyable. I don't have to cook for an hour every single day for dinner because I already just have something that I prepared from the beginning of the week. If you're still living at home and you have some time before you move out, then definitely chef it up in the kitchen. Ask mom to teach you a few meals just to get you ready. And I will always say this, but communicate. If someone in the house is doing something that you don't particularly like, say it, because you're going to think about it all the time and it's just going to bubble up and burst eventually. What's an example that I can give? The girls came back from a night out one night and they were just so loud because they were laughing at something, and I got out of my room and I was like, guys, like, just be quiet, I'm trying to sleep. I think they understood very quickly that I just wanted to get to bed. Another instance was when I showered very late and my housemate was like, girl, I literally live right next door to the shower, so can you please shower a little bit earlier? And I was like, yes, most days I can do that, but sometimes when I get back from cheerleading, I'll be late. She's like, that's totally fine, found a compromise. So honestly, just talking about these things makes a big difference. You just have to get through these issues, you have to problem solve, and you have to be mature about it. I am so happy that I filmed this video because I feel like I just had so much to give. I went through so much stress and anger looking for a place, and after a year I made it. I genuinely can't believe I'm literally in my dream room. If you have any questions at all, list them in the comments down below. I'll try to get back to as many of you as I can, and just message me on Instagram. You can follow my socials here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of the love recently. I'm just getting back into YouTube, so I really appreciate the fact that you comment and take the time to send me sweet messages, and I will chat to you in my next video. Bye!